Good morning students. Today we will be revising chapter 10. In that we will be reading the chapter so that whatever concepts are there that will be cleared of you by reading that chapter carefully. In science, always whenever we are doing any chapter, you should read it carefully and try to understand the thing by yourself also. That is very much necessary. Okay, so we'll start reading. So now we will start reading our chapter number 10, that is motion and measurement of distances. There was a general discussion among the children in Paheli and Bujo's class about the places they had visited during the summer vacations. Someone had gone to their native village by train, then by bus, and finally a bullock cart. One of the students had travelled by an aeroplane. Another spent many days of his holidays going on fishing trips in his uncle's boat. So here in a classroom they are discussing where they visited during their holidays. The teacher then asked them to read newspaper article that mentioned about small wheeled vehicles that moved on the soil of Mars and conducted the experiments. These vehicles were taken by spacecraft all the way to the Mars. I think most of you must have watched that movie Mission Mangal. So in that also you may have seen that small type of vehicles that are sent via spacecraft to the various planets as well as moon also, so that some of the observation can be done out there. So same type of vehicles have been sent to the Mars. Okay, so that was told to the students. Meanwhile, Paheli had been reading stories about ancient India and wanted to know how people traveled from one place to another in earlier times. So in earlier times what was there, that people were not knowing about these modern means of transport. So Paheli was thinking that how they were moving. So our next topic is about that only, that is story of transport. Long ago people did not have any means of transport. They used to move only on foot and carry goods on their back. Later on they began to use animals for transportation. So first of all that was there that they didn't had any means of transport, so they traveled on their feet only. For transport through water routes, that boats were used, okay, that from ancient times. To begin with, boats were simple logs of wood in which a hollow cavity could be made. Later, people learnt to put together the different pieces of wood and give shape to the boat. These shapes imitated the shapes of the animals living in water. Recall our discussion on this as the streamline shape. We have not done chapter 8 and 9. In that we will be discussing about streamline shape. This I have already explained when I was explaining this chapter 10, that we will be doing a shape that is called as streamline shape. You can underline it here, streamline shape. Okay, so that shape is the shape which a fish is having. In detail we will discuss it later on. Okay, so that shape was made of boat by the human beings. Invention of the wheel made a great change in the modes of transport. The design of the wheel was improved over thousands of years. Animals were used to pull carts that moved on wheels. Until the beginning of the 19th century, people still depended on animals, boats and ships to transport them from place to place. The invention of steam engine led to the development of new means of transport. Railroads were made for steam engine driven carriages and wagons. So what was there? That until the beginning of 19th century, people they were depended on animals, boats, ships. इन पे डिपेंडेंट थे वो, ठीक है. इनके थ्रू ही वो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह मूव करते थे, ट्रांसपोर्ट कोई भी चीज करनी हो वो करते थे. द इन्वेंशन ऑफ स्टीम इंजन, फिर किसका इन्वेंशन हुआ? स्टीम इंजन का. ओके, दैट लीड टू द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ न्यू मीन्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट्स. ओके, सो फिर नए मीन्स डेवलप होने लगे ट्रांसपोर्ट के लिए. रेल रोड्स वर मेड फ्रॉम स्टीम इंजन ड्राइवन कैरेजेस एंड वैगन्स. फिर रेल रोड्स बनने लगे, पटरियां होती है ना रेल्स के चलने के लिए, वो बनने लगी. ओके, लेटर केम द ऑटोमोबाइल्स सच एज मोटर कार्स, ट्रक्स एंड buses. Motorized boats and ships were used as means of transport on water. The early years of 1900 saw the development of aeroplanes. Okay, these were later improved to carry the passengers and goods. Electric trains, monorails, supersonic aeroplane and spacecraft are some of the contributions of the 20th century. Before this, on previous page, okay, so here in this paragraph, after that streamlined shape we have underline the first line of this next paragraph, that invention of the wheel made a great change in the modes of transport. This question I had given in assignment 1 also, question number 1, that great change in transport was due to which invention? So answer is here only. Okay, that invention of the wheel that made a great change in modes of transport. Okay, then next question that I had given in assignment 1 was, until the beginning of 19th century, how people used to go from one place to another. So answer is here only on this page, first page which we were reading. Okay, here right hand side you can see that until the beginning of 19th century, people still depended on animals, boats and ships. Okay, so that was the means of transport from place to place. So these question answers, okay, in notebook, those who have done already assignment question answers, okay, that is okay, no problem at all. But those who have not done, they will mark the answers here in book only, and extra question answers I will be giving you, which you have to write in fair notebook. Okay, next question which I had given, question number 3, when aeroplanes were developed. So on next page number 96, that here left hand side we were showing that the early years of 1900 saw the development of aeroplanes. Underline it here. Okay, now next question of assignment 1 was that name, fourth question, name any 3 invention in transport in 20th century. So after this aeroplane, here next line, electric trains, monorail, supersonic aeroplane and spacecraft are some of the contributions of 20th century. Okay, now in figure 10.1 show some of the different modes of transport. Place them in the correct order from the earliest mode of the transport to the most recent. So are there any of the early modes of transport that are not in the use today? You can see here on our previous page some means of transport. This is figure 10.1 given here. Okay, cycle is there, aeroplane is there, ship is there. Okay, then this bullock cart is there, bus is there, and this train is there, steam engine one. So you can arrange them. Okay, so you can arrange them from earliest to the newly one. Now our next topic is how wide is this desk. Now in this topic actually we have to see that if we are having a gilli and danda, so if we will be measuring the length of a desk with that gilli danda, okay, there was a situation given here that there was a fight among Bujo and his friend, as they wanted that equally this bench should be divided into two halves. This already I have explained you. You can read this very topic very much carefully by yourself so that you can understand it in a much better way. Okay, once they measured with a particular set of gilli danda, and next time they were having another set in which the gilli length was not similar. So of course this is not a good method of measuring anything. Okay, to have an idea that how wide is this desk, this is not a good method. Okay, so some other method should be there. Then we discussed about this method in which we use string. You can see here in this figure also that measuring the length of the desk with the string lengths. Okay, this string this boy is having, with that string he is measuring. This I explained in my previous video of chapter 10 where we discussed about this, how we can measure with the help of a string, and that string then you can measure with the help of a scale. So that is also a good method. And if you are not having scale, in ancient times they were not having scale, then with strings also that could have been measured. That string we can take it as a half or 1/3 or 1/4, whatever length we want we can do with that string. Now here the question was in our assignment number 1, 5th question, why we need to measure length or distance at various occasions. Mention any 3 reasons. So all these here you can see on this page, all these questions have one thing in common. They concern with the measurement of distances. So what is there? Here on page number 97, right hand side, second paragraph, underline here, there are so many occasions when we come across a need to measure the length and distances. The tailor need to measure the length of a cloth to know if it is enough to stitch a kurta. A carpenter needs to measure the height and width of a cupboard to know how much wood he would need to make its door. Farmer needs to know the length and breadth or the area of his land to know how much seed he can sow. and how much water would be needed for his crops. So these are the various occasions where we need to measure the length or width. Okay, so many reasons are there why we need to measure the things. Now next question, the next topic is sum measurement. Topic number 10.3, sum measurement. So here one activity is given. Here this person is measuring. In activity 1, you have to measure the length of the classroom or the width of the classroom. Various students have to measure and then can compare, because everybody's foot length is different, so that will be coming out to be different. This also I explained in my that 10th chapter where I explained this topic. You can read it carefully and can do this activity yourself. Next, activity 2, here with this hand span, this person is measuring the width of a table. This also you can do it yourself and with your brother or sister, okay, and can compare that difference is there if two people are measuring the same bench or same table. Anything you can measure, whatever is there. Now our question number 6 in assignment 1 was, what is measurement and what a known fixed quantity in measurement called? Answer lies here, that measurement means the comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity. It starts from page number 98, last second line, left hand side. Okay, you have to underline it here in book, that measurement means comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity. This known quantity, this known fixed quantity is called unit. The result of measurement is expressed in 2 parts. One part is number and the other part is the unit of measurement. So this is the main thing out here. Next question was that how the result of measurement is expressed, and explain with the help of an example. Example is given after this only. The length of the room is found to be 12. Length of your foot, then 12 is the number and foot length is the unit. Okay, so this is the main thing up to this topic. Next topic we will start in our next lecture. So that's all for today. We'll continue our reading tomorrow also. Thank you.